Ladies and gentlemen, my name's Stryftek, and I'm here to ask and answer one simple question. Is it worth your wish list? On trial today. There is no light, 616. This is a demo for the full game, There Is No Light, made by the indie developer Zelart. It's a pixel art hack and slash that seems to have a solid story which supposedly impacts the world based on your decisions. Now, as a disclaimer, this is a demo, so what we see here may or may not match the final product, but it should be roughly the same. After a global catastrophe, humans are forced underground where there is no light. They encounter an entity called the Great Hand and begin to blindly worship them as their new god. Every so often, the hand requires chosen newborns to be brought to Central Station. They are taken and kept, never seen again, in a place known as the Sanctuary. Your son was taken, and you want him back. After a failed attempt to rescue him on your own, a mysterious man offers his help. Dressed as a plague doctor, he seems to be a devil of sorts. However, in your quest for revenge, you accept his help and begin your slaughter. The demo doesn't give you a lot more than that. The areas of the demo you can explore are filled with people you can talk to, scraps of paper, all providing lore and help build the world you're in. Ultimately, I enjoyed what story there was, and I wanted more. There wasn't much gameplay beyond combat, but there doesn't need to be. The combat is fast, gritty, and a ton of fun. You get 3 weapons, a shield, and a dodge. I stubbornly decided to just use the sword and dodge, thinking the other 2 weapons were just there to add some variety. Oh boy, was I wrong. You need to use your entire arsenal. Not only do some weapons perform inherently better against certain enemies, but there are buffs that can be gained. For example, a perfect block makes it so your next special ability does extra damage. But then if you try to block again before you use that ability, your block breaks and you're stunned for a period of time. The fist weapon has a fast 3-hit combo, but you could also instead use them to gain a temporary speed buff. Now, the main parts of the demo itself weren't all that hard, and that's why I ended up just using the sword and dodge. It was after the final boss decimated me for about the 6th time that I figured I should use the full arsenal. After that, there's an arena mode you can play in where you go against wave after wave of enemies. I spent a good 4 hours fighting my way through trying to beat it, and I still haven't. It's so infuriating, yet still so addicting. Your deaths feel like they're your fault, and thus you have this drive and need to want to get better and try again. This game has a very high skill ceiling, and I can't wait to see the combos and strategies that players better than me will be able to utilize in this. Now, throughout all this, as you play, you do gain skill points, and there is a skill tree to level up your weapons. I am curious to see if the current implementation makes it into the game itself, because right now the demo gives you all the weapons, and the tree you can just fill out as you want with whatever points wherever. My guess that the game itself will have more of a progression. You'll get weapons one at a time. The skill tree can only be filled out in a certain way, but who knows? My guess is they did it like this more just to whet your appetite, and they did a good job of that. It always amazes me how far pixel art has come. Just look back on some of the games like Mega Man, Mario, Metroid, all those older pixel-based games. Yes, there were hardware limitations back then, but the art styles themselves have just evolved and become so much more. Now this game, There Is No Light, it's beautiful. The animations are very fluid and smooth. The attention to detail is phenomenal. Sound effects and audio were all on point, and the music did a great job of not only enhancing the atmosphere and combat, but just bringing you more into the world itself. So, is it worth your wish list? The demo itself had a couple of bugs and issues, of course, but that is expected. They mentioned on their page that the alpha phase is coming soon, so continued testing and fixing is coming. But from what I've seen here, I think Zelart has a hit on their hands. The final game itself is set to release in early 2022. So if what you've seen interests you, head on over to their Steam page, link in the description below, and toss it on your wishlist. This really helps the devs out. While you're there, you could grab the demo yourself. It is available for a limited time, and then you can see what I'm talking about, or if I'm just crazy. My name's been Stryftek, and thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, by all means, that like and subscribe button are there. They really help me out. And if you want more of this wishlist series, let me know in the comments. And maybe I'll see you next time on Is It Worth Your Wishlist?